Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Taeyang or V's retirement plans, or more so his life after his retirement, and of course spending it with a potential wife. He means me, by the way. I am the potential wife. I'm kidding, but we will get into the tea on this. I also want to get into ARMY's wanting Jimin to adopt a child. This is from an orphanage. I think this whole story of Jimin is really sweet and really fun, so we're definitely going to talk about that and get into it as well. So let's get the tea. If you are new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave a hate comment, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now, let's get into it. Now, let's jump into Taeyang retiring. Not anytime soon, by the way, I don't think. But BTS members have definitely mentioned this. BTS retiring in general is likely going to happen. Every single celebrity at one point has stepped down from the spotlight to either just enjoy life or they simply just kind of fell off of relevance. I don't believe BTS will ever fall out of relevance, but I do believe they will step down to enjoy their life and maybe let the new generation kind of come through. Jungkook has talked about a time where he quote unquote would not be as popular as he is now, and hopes and wishes people will still continue to enjoy his music. All the members have discussed their future plans when they decide to kind of settle down. I don't expect them or even really want them on stage at like 40 or 50, breaking all their bones up on there dancing the way they dance now. They might hurt themselves. I mean, I'm still younger than some of them, and I 100% would be hurt if I attempted to dance the way they dance. Imagine being physically healthy. I just don't know what that's like. I just don't know how they dance the way that they do, and that their dances get stronger and more like intricate every year. Like, how do y'all function without 12 naps a day? I don't think any of the BTS boys would ever like retire the way that us normal people would. Also, people who are like artists or company owners, they don't get like retirement money from the government. They still have to work, in which case they work lightly. First of all, I still think that they would be on TV and still definitely make music. They just maybe won't tour. But I think they'll still be blessing us with those bomb selfies, even with the grays in their hair. They'll be active on the Weverse. I think they'll still be blessing us with those random covers, or even being an MC at award shows. They just won't be insane and all over the place like they are right now. Taeyang is someone that I can imagine that definitely probably sits there and just fantasizes about his future life, his future plans, all that jazz. Much like I do, I am definitely a dreamer. Hopefully in the future and in the dreams, the virus isn't involved. So it was no surprise that Taeyang had already thought about his future plans when he was asked about this. During an interview, he was asked what his plans were for retirement. Taeyang, surely enough, said he would devote his time and energy to his future wife. Me, of course, and yes, I accept. Taeyang wants to devote any time that he has after retirement and his life to his wife, and I can imagine he wants to take time for his kids as well, if he decides to have. I think he would be a great dad, so it would definitely be a waste if he did not have kids. He is so caring and he honestly would make a great father. I think if you are definitely considering having a family, you should definitely be able to devote a large amount of time to that. Of course, some people's situations are different and all that stuff, but I do think it'll be extremely difficult for him to be traveling and touring when he has kids, and then I guess just leave his kids to his wife. It would be a bit unfair, I think, because it is 2020 and she likely will have a career too. I definitely wanted to see what some people felt about Taeyang and his retirement plans. I definitely know some ARMYs have some thoughts. So I went over on the tweets there and one person wrote, still thinking about Taeyang when he said he'll retire at the age of 40 and live in the countryside with his wife and live peacefully. I agree, yeah, it's a little weird. He is still like years away from being 30, let alone 40. That he is talking about being 40? I've always wanted to get married at 30, and that's just not gonna happen. I mean, that 30 is looking a little bit more like 40, 50, 60-ish. Maybe. It's not that I don't want to, I just don't think anyone wants me. Because he's also mentioned how he would like to be a farmer if he wasn't a celebrity. And that's so interesting because that's literally the opposite of what he does now. It's like not even similar, unless he was like a celebrity farmer. Another person on the tweetster wrote this. Taeyang once said if he did not become a celebrity, he would have likely become a farmer. He also revealed that he wanted to retire at 40 and live a quiet life with his wife. Y'all can just say my name. It's totally okay. You don't have to keep saying why. It's definitely interesting to think about because if he does step out kind of from the spotlight and appear less on TV and stuff like that, if he decides to move to more quiet places, kind of like Vietnam or like in the middle of the United States, like where it's just land, he could probably go the rest of his life living a very normal life and not really ever feeling like a celebrity again. I like that he has these dreams still because it just shows how humble he is. He's not dreaming about 100% needing to continue this fame that he has, to constantly be at the top and #1 forever. Like, it's definitely pretty cool and humbling to know that this is the type of person he is. It's refreshing even. That is the right word, a refreshing cup of tea. I love hearing about things that have been going on with our boys, what they have been up to, and what they're thinking about their situation. It's very interesting to know. now. Jimin is someone who has been doing such amazing things and has even kept his promise to an orphan or orphans. BTS a while back, if you did not know, visited an orphanage. This was on a TV show that they were particularly starring on. The show was called Delivery of Hope, and as you can guess from the name, definitely going to an orphanage is delivery of hope. It was definitely a good place to deliver that message. These kids over there definitely don't have a family or anything like that, and obviously look for kindness within strangers or kind strangers to help them out. This particular orphanage was called Jomu Kingdom. BTS was of course very kind to all the kids there. Took photos, spent time with them, and even played games with all of them. I'm assuming the kids knew who BTS was, and of course was happy that BTS was taking their time out of their busy schedule to be with them. BTS will of course do very cute things like let the kids win at their games, and the kids probably noticed that and love it. One kid even wrote a little bit of a letter saying they didn't know what to do when BTS arrived, but then was happy to be closer to them and hopes that BTS will visit again sometime when they have time. Now of course BTS said yes, and they said that they wanted to come back. However, words like that or sayings like that are just kind of things that people say in the heat of the moment and often for fun, and it doesn't usually mean it's true or that they'll follow through with it. And I think these kids kind of thought that too, because they also probably knew that they were filming for a TV show and it was just like whatever. Also, sadly enough, they probably had broken promises to them all the time. I assume some of the other members didn't have time, but Jimin did take time out of his day, and RM, to come and visit the orphanage again. This was of course 2 years later from when the TV show was shot. Jimin and RM returned to the orphanage without TV crews or cameras or anything like that. One of the kids or the staff members actually recorded Jimin at the orphanage kind of dancing and playing around with the kids. He was giving the kids kind of a little bit of a private concert, and then they posted this on social media. Of course this went viral, there's no question about it. People were definitely happy to see that they kept their word, and they did this without really any incentive, because Jimin or RM didn't know that there would be any recording of them being there, and definitely didn't know if it was going to be put online, although likely, but they had no idea if it would actually be done. Jimin or RM definitely didn't have to give their time or an afternoon, and no one would know the difference whether they went or not. But he did go, and that's unbelievably awesome. I can't believe they did that. I really love how awesome and beautiful RM and Jimin are. It means the world to me to definitely see people do that, and it definitely probably means a lot to these kids. There were definitely some people online who wanted to see Jimin kind of adopt a child, and it would be so cute if Jimin actually went ahead and did that. One person on the Tweetster wrote this: "Y'all remember how this was at the orphanage? What if one of them asked him to adopt them? Knowing Jimin, he would adopt all of them and love them, and now I made myself cry." Right? Haha, I'm crying. Now the clip of Jimin kind of entertaining everybody at the orphanage has pretty much made its rounds at this point, and it's pretty much shared everywhere online. People have kind of just been adding their thoughts to it. One person wrote, "When Jimin visited an orphanage on his day off to play and dance with the kids to make them happy, he is too sweet." Right? I totally agree. He is definitely so kind and so nice to definitely perform in front of everybody, giving them probably something that they wouldn't be able to have otherwise. Like they definitely wouldn't be able to ever see a BTS concert unless they got adopted by a family or they were old enough to work and actually pay for the concert themselves. This is something that I personally can't express how much it means to see, and of course it means so much to the orphans, especially if they're fans. But even if they weren't fans, it's really cool to see a celebrity kind of perform in front of you, something they obviously don't have the chance to do very often. Like obviously the freedom to have and go and see a celebrity. This is something that we take for granted. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over to my Patreon and kind of check that out. Anything you contribute over on my Patreon really helps kind of give back to my channel and help me make better videos and stuff like that. So I really do appreciate you going over there and checking that out. It would mean the absolute world to me if you could donate anything you can over there. You can get exclusive content over there, just like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions, all that stuff on my Patreon. Just check it out. Link in the top of the description down below. There's also 2 videos that will appear on the screen at the end of the video. Click on one of those. See you over there. Bye.